Oh yes, USL fans, you know what time it is. It is juicy fixture time in the Western Conference as two of the best teams west of the Mississippi and perhaps in all of the United Soccer League come crashing into only a venue that is fitting enough to hold a game of this magnitude, and that is Championship Stadium. Orange County SC and Real Monarchs 3 points to the winner, and they can call themselves the top dogs of the West. Tyler Terrence, along with none other than Matt Stubbington. And Matt, will check out our synchronicity keys to the match for Orange County. It's really as simple as feeding the big dog up top, and meanwhile, for the Real Monarchs, maybe a little bit more involved than that.
It is a little bit more involved. They have to attack with rhythm, 1 or 2 touch passing, stretch out the back line of Orange County and make sure that they can find ways to get into the attacking third. For Orange County, keep Andy Volton up high, feed the beast, make sure he's getting the service he needs to be successful, and that way he is involved in keeping the back line of Real Monarchs busy. And
while Sebastian Velasquez has been absent from the Real Monarchs for the past 5 games, one man who remains a steady constant in the middle of the park and really was a great pickup in the offseason from the Charleston Battery, Mr. Michael Chang.
He's a wonderful player, composed in the box, has a vision for the back of the net, but he also has the vision to find the ball and find his teammates as well. Look as he picks up the ball, he's looking around, where's the pressure coming from? And then he's looking around, where are my teammates? I have to find them. And just explosive into the 18, finds his teammates to put the ball in the back of the net. A wonderful example for young players.
And meanwhile, for Orange County SC, we'll take a look at our Shire player to watch. And how could we talk about Brady Cloutier's side and not mention number 14? He has been magnificent this season, 11 assists on the campaign, and he probably would be in first if not for the fact that Manu Ledesma has been setting everybody up over in the Eastern Conference.
Well, it's a pretty good second place that Quinn is in, and he is probably nobody more competitive on the team than Aidan Quinn, according to Brendan Cloutier. He's a wonderful player, great service on the ball, and knows when to put it in the back of the net when he has to.
He had the lone goal for Orange County against Real Monarchs when these two teams met back in May. OCSC currently in first place and currently just 1 loss in their last dozen games. The Real Monarchs looking to refine their form as they're winless in their last 4. It's the Real Monarchs in Orange County for first place when we come back.
New Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade. The perfect blend of real ginger taste with a splash of real juice. Are you ready to taste Nirvana?
Hey, honey! Do we want to taste Nirvana?
Yeah, sure.
How long have you been sitting in my yard?
Since Tuesday. Try New Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade.
Tonight's matchup of the game is brought to you by Renaissance Club Sport as we are almost set for kickoff here in Irvine, California between Orange County SC and the Real Monarchs. Tyler Terrence along with Matt Stubbington, and we'll take a look at the starting 11 beginning with Jameson Alave's Real Monarchs, who are traveling to Championship winless in their last 4. Tonight's starting 11 brought to you by Subaru Orange Coast. Sebastian Velasquez is not going to be in the starting 11 for the 6th straight game. However, he is available for selection on the 18. What are we looking at for the visitors?
Oh, you got to look up top. Chandler Hoffman, a wonderful player. He will try and link up with the 3 below him, particularly Michael Chang. And Portillo is wonderful on the outside as well. The back line are going to be really challenged, trying to find a way to keep Annie Voldsen from scoring tonight for Orange County. And take a look at the home team tonight. And Annie Voldsen, there he is on his tot up top. They'll be playing a 3-5-1 lineup. Maybe more of a diamond than midfield with Powder and Alston as the attacking wingbacks. Chaplow probably will be the bottom of that diamond. We'll see things shape up. But it is a really attacking lineup for Brendan Cloutier tonight.
Well, the winner of this game will be able to call themselves the first place holders of the Western Conference as we are officially underway. Mark Allerton, our head referee, Tyler Terrens, along with the incomparable Matt Stubbington. So glad that you could join us for this fantastic matchup and with so much riding on the line. And now it's time to check out the Hoag Orthopedic Institute injury report. And music to Braden Cloutier's ears. Nothing to report in the early going as Aiden Quinn and Justin Portillo get into it. In the opening 20 seconds, and Portillo shown an early yellow card.
Tactical foul here from Portillo. Knew that he was beaten. Quinn just picking the pocket. And then Portillo saying, "Can I have a piggyback, please?" That's not allowed in the game of soccer. Mr. Allerton goes to his pocket. Might be one of the fastest yellow cards you'll see in the USL this year. A great moment for the home team. And that left-footed service from Mr. Quinn.
I'm sure the message coming into the match from Jamison Olave would be, do not concede any silly free kicks in our own defensive third if we don't have to, because his delivery is magnificent. This one no different. And it forces a defensive header from Henley and a corner kick coming up for Orange County. And we haven't even played 90 seconds yet.
When we talked to Coach Cloutier, he said that he felt that there was an advantage for Orange County on set pieces. When you got the likes of Hoyvelt and Cronali, both well over 6 feet tall, it certainly is a height advantage in the box for the home team.
It's Aiden Quinn on it, an in-swinger, flick to the back post, but nobody was there for the home side. And it should be a throw-in coming up for the Real Monarchs, and indeed it is.
We were talking about the height advantage. I think it's one of the smallest members of the Orange County team that had the header at the near post. That's Christian Duke.
Well, for Orange County, a quick turnaround as their last game was on Sunday night at Chuck Chansey against Fresno, a gritty performance. As Braden Cloutier said, that their goal from the start was to be able to get a clean sheet and settle for a point if they needed to and get after the 3 points if the game allowed it. And it most certainly did, as the service from Ida Voldsen was terrific. The finish from Powder, the same. And Jamison Olave's team is dealing with a club that is in fine form at the moment. Just 1 loss in their last dozen games, and that was to RGV, a shocking result. But really, other than that, Matt, it's been near perfect from Braden Cloutier's side, including in recent memory a 3-2 victory over OKC Energy FC, a game in which they had to come back from twice. And it just seems like, for the moment, Braden Cloutier's side has a really tough time losing soccer games right now.
It was a really exciting game against OKC. It was a wonderful match. Both teams really competitive and in good form. It's Orange County scoring in stoppage time to win the match. Well, to tie the match and then finally to win it. OKC thought the job was done and they scored their second.
Kevin Alston with the restart. Flicked along by Quinn. Cleaned up by Pleva. Back and forth we go. And Aiden Quinn played that a little bit too quickly. We asked Braden Cloutier in our conversation with him leading up to this match whether or not in his young managerial career, or at least at the head coaching job, is this the most exciting game that you've been a part of? Is this the one that you've gotten up for the most? And he laughed and he said, well, in all honesty, I still get the same butterflies heading into each game, whether it's the third game of the season or late in the year with first place riding on the line against one of the best clubs in the Western Conference. But he did say that there was something slightly more to this one. And Matt, I know you and I have been just licking our chops for this fixture. I mean, not only with what's riding on the line with regards to playoffs, but just the quality of these two teams, the possession that they play. It is a beautiful, beautiful brand to watch.
It's two of the best teams in all of the USL, the way the game is played. So much skill all over the pitch. You also have the ability to turn it on a dime as well, as far as the style of play that they have. You go back to the OKC game in Orange County. Coach Cloutier basically threw the two big center backs forwards, knowing that he was after a Hail Mary, trying to get something going up top with knockdown balls, and so different personalities to both teams.
The Monarchs with some high pressure. Orange County didn't deal with it properly, and a throw-in coming up for the Monarchs, who are winless in their last 4. And while there might be a bit of panic around the Real Monarchs camp and just some shock, I guess, throughout the rest of the USL, they were almost in the same exact position, albeit basically clear of everybody else in the Western Conference at this point with regards to first place. But they lost 4 matches at almost the exact same time, I should say winless in their 4 matches in 2017. We'll get to that in a moment as Master Cashier is turning the corner. And good work from Richard Chaplow.
See Cashier there just slowing things down, trying to bait the defenders and then exploding into the attacking third. Well defended in the end by Powder and Chaplow.
Here's Brody. Now it's Justin Portillo. Cashier back for Brody. Neat little move around Powder. Brody, delivery, not a bad one. And cleared away by the back line of Orange County. And a corner kick coming up for the visitors, their first of the evening.
Powder a little tentative defensively there, on his heels, not really in the picture. See that, on his heels, didn't break down enough, needs to get his body weight over his toes so he can actually step in and make the challenge. It was a good ball in, well defended, good clearing header.
Corner is played short, back for Portillo, now he knocks it in, off of his line, and it's in for the Monarchs! What a start for the visitors! And it's Kalen Ryden, who has a few times this year been able to score off set pieces. He adds another one to his tally. And the Monarchs off and running at Championship Stadium, 1-0.
Well, the defending leading up to the corner wasn't very good. The defending during the corner was equally poor. Caught out by the short corner. Orange County never adjusted. Ryden with his 5th goal of the season. That was way too easy. When you've got the height of Orange County, you need to defend better. And Ryden was pretty surprised he was that open at the back post. Brendan Cloutier thought that his team would have the advantage on the set pieces. They might have it on the defensive end, on the offensive end, but they need to do a better job defensively.
Well, it just looked like Andre Rawls was caught in no man's land, and I know you like to really critique keepers and take a look at what they're doing from a positional standpoint. Any idea what was running through his head on that particular play?
There's not a lot that he could do because the ball was played along the line of the 6, curving into the back post. When the bottom line is you look at that picture from the low angle, the defenders are all watching the ball. They're not figuring out where they have to be to mark a player. And you've got 2 players from the Real Monarchs, Ryden being one of them, popping up at the back post. It was an easy opportunity in the end, well taken.
But when you're in the type of form that the Monarchs have been in as of late, and you're on the road against a quality team, sometimes it's a set piece that's exactly the sort of shot in the arm that you need to get things going. And Jamison Olave's side off to a terrific start. Quinn sends the ball forward. It looks like it's going to be offside before the foul is called against Thomasina Voltson. And Matt, I must confess to the viewers at home that My 0-0 prediction that I made about 45 minutes ago is officially out the window.
I'm a little worried because I was predicting a 1-0 win to Orange County, so we're both in trouble as things stand now. Trying to get a feel for the lineup of Orange County. I thought that Powder and Austin would be the wingbacks, but they're both on the same side of the pitch. Amiko is on the left side, receiving the pass from Quinn now. Maybe the home team will play more of a 4-4-2 lineup, trying to rotate Berman up in support of Annie Voltson.
Monarchs playing with a boatload of confidence, and why not, after getting the early goal from Kalen Ryden, his 5th of the season, give the credit on the assist to Justin Portillo. That's his 7th on the year. Here's Brody. Cashier caught in a double team. Noah Powder holding him off. Ball into the middle, picked off by Pleva. Jose Hernandez. Hernandez responsible for the equalizer against St. Louis FC in the ESPN USL Game of the Week a week ago from tonight. Sort of a bizarre schedule for the Monarchs as they were off on the weekend, played at the midweek last week. Orange County on the flip side, we talked about their quick turnaround from their Sunday night match against Fresno. Hernandez, a neat little touch forward. Had him out wide and put out nicely by the Orange County back line, but Ina Voltson wanted it at his feet.
See the frustration from Ina Voltson. He's not getting the service that he wants at the moment. As the frustration grows for the number 7, he might start dropping back further into the midfield, trying to get the ball on his own.
Here is Ryden, the goal scorer. Senior side for Charlie Adams, 24-year-old from London. This is what the Monarchs have become known for in the USL. Just a dizzying amount of passes, clear-cut possession. And right on cue, Leaker gives it away. Chaplow caught in the middle and surrenders possession right back.
Good work on the double team from Chang and Hernandez. Feels like Orange County are struggling a little bit to get on terms with their formation as to what the Real Monarchs are trying to throw at them offensively.
And Andre Rawls is just going to sort of slow things down and allow Cornali to come back. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Hoyfeld. Cornali just creeping forward, looking for a positive option. Looks for the big sweeping ball over to the far side. Mats Bierman matched up with Henley. Bierman trying to find Christian Duke, making that diagonal run. With good work from the Monarchs back line. It falls for Richard Chaplow, the captain on the evening. As Michael Chang looking to use his pace on the outside. Joe Amico cuts him off and wins it back for Orange County. Bierman again. Again, another center back for Orange County, just sort of creeping forward. And the Monarchs, it seems like that's been their game plan, to shut everything down in the middle of the field, not put a ton of pressure on the back line of Orange County because they're not worried about that sort of distribution.
Just getting all 11 players behind the ball, closing down the passing lanes, not giving any room for Orange County to work, trying to win the ball and then hit on the counterattack quickly. They have the players to do it. Chang, Hernandez, and the like.
Aiden Quinn will bypass Christian Duke, his running partner in the middle of the park.
Drop deep enough back as well. You take away that ball over the top for any Volson to run onto. Midfielders are dropping deeper and deeper, trying to receive the ball from the back line. That makes the spacing more difficult.
Aiden Quinn is going to let it fly. It's not a bad effort at all. Had Jake Leaker intrigued at the very least. And it's Orange County's first real attempt of the night.
Fizzing effort from Aiden Quinn. Ball was moved more quickly. Comes inside. Zamiko, back line just drops off, doesn't close down quickly enough. A touch to collect. Well struck shot. Quinn had the goalkeeper struggling. Almost finds powder on the pass to the outside right channel.
Orange County were almost able to capitalize after the giveaway from the Monarchs at the back. And the visitors from Salt Lake City struggling with possession at the moment. Orange County win it back off another unforced turnover. Quinn just trying to dink it over the top. He's looking for that secondary run from Mats Bierman. And Chaplow will just help it along and find Hoyfeld, who's been a terrific addition to this Orange County roster, just making them that much stronger along the back line, adding some veteran leadership. Aiden Quinn on the first time. Wow, that is really well done, but the offside flag is up. And that was mighty close.
That was very, very close. Aniko looked like he was off to the races.
And leading up to the Kalen Ryan goal, we were talking about how the Monarchs a year ago almost were in the same exact position with 4 games without a win. It was from September 2nd to September 22nd. As you can see, just a clear similarity, albeit the standings were a little bit different at the time. And the Monarchs would end up finishing unbeaten in their last 5, and then of course lose to Sacramento Republic in the opening rounds of the Western Conference playoffs on penalty kicks. But it's sort of that post-dog days of the summer blues that some of the better teams in the league, Matt, we've seen to have. I mean, look over on the Eastern Conference, Louisville City, it was almost the same thing up until today, until they beat Penn FC. They were on a stretch where they hadn't won a game in 4 matches as well. So Jameson Olave's side did really well in the middle of the summer to be able to get points when a lot of teams weren't able to, but still feeling the effects afterwards.
It's so difficult to maintain consistency through such a long season. And you put pressure on yourself to get into the top of your conference, which is what Real Monarchs did before they went on their skid. Everybody's gunning for you, so the pressure is there. So how do you ride that pressure? How do you recover? So in 2017, in the regular season, Real Monarchs recovered really, really well. But perhaps in that recovery, they lost their rush of adrenaline a little bit, had a poor performance in the opening round of the playoffs. So hopefully, Real Monarch fans and for the team, they'll have a righting of the ship and they'll keep it afloat as they head into the first round of the playoffs. So they haven't clinched just yet, but they're mighty, mighty close.
And of course, it should be stated that these last 4 games have been without the services of Sebastian Velasquez, as Brody puts on 1 too many moves and gives it back to OCSE. And you saw the remaining schedule. No team that they play in the remaining games is inside the cutoff line. But with that said, everybody around the United Soccer League knows that no game is a sure 3 points or even a point. As we saw TFC2 almost pull off a miraculous point or 3 at Nippert against FC Cincinnati, and the basically sure Shield winners at this point. We saw TFC2 thrash Louisville City at Slugger Field 4-1 just a few weeks ago. And we've seen Orange County lose to RGV. And of course, as we see a number of these teams start to be mathematically eliminated, all the pressure is off of those teams, and that's sometimes when we see their best football. But all the pressure on both of these teams heading into this match with first place on the line. Real Monarchs as it stands, #1 in the Western Conference. That could all change over the weekend. Phoenix Rising with a game at Colorado Springs. They can overtake the first place throne with 3 points and then a little bit of help as Adams able to find Hernandez. Henley moving the train along. Delivery towards the back post. Master Cashier loves to take players on 1v1. Deflected by Powder. Falls nicely for Andrew Brody. Brody towards the byline, and again, it's Noah Powder who gets in the way. And look at that bounce. It stays in play. Cashier again. Whips in. Another dangerous cross. See that from both of these sides. More than willing to possess deep into their own defensive third and play out like you just saw. Christian Duke. One for Amico. A little stab of the foot from Aiden Quinn. Difficult ball to handle on this near side for Kevin Alston. And it'll go back to the Monarchs.
It's a good passage of play for the Real Monarchs. Defended slightly higher up the pitch, making life more difficult for Orange County to go forwards. Said in the open, you've got to play with rhythm. You saw the 1 and 2 touch passing that we're used to seeing.
That's a late challenge from Pernally. Andrew Brody did all the legwork. Yeah, with the early card to Portillo, our head referee sort of set a tone a little bit. Mark Allerton. I'd be surprised if Pernally did not get a yellow card. And there you go on cue. Pernally issued mustard as we'll take another look at the fancy footwork from Mr. Brody.
Fancy footwork from Brody, and not so fancy footwork from Pernally as he was all legs going into that challenge. Jumping in, never set himself. See no argument from him. Full well, but deserves yellow card.
Again, Noah Powder standing up. Andrew Brody on this near side. That'll be a fun matchup to watch as this 90 minutes continues to chug along. Powder, of course, with the game winner against Fresno on Sunday night at Chuck Chansey. Master Cashier letting the ball do the work, but unable to challenge Andre Rawls.
Really well worked goal that Powder scored. To stay on side. Timed his run into space beautifully to receive the pass from Enny Voldsen.
Orange County Coalition providing the percussion here at championship, as always. As Ryden will nod it back to Jake Leaker.
Powder was interested. I like the music. It's
Susan.
I recognize some of it. That's always a good thing.
There's our percussion and rhythm section. Can you sing along, Matt?
You don't want me to sing that.
Good delivery in. Jose Hernandez unable to get there. Kevin Alston was. Michael Chang. Henley, met by Amico, and stripped by Amico. 25th minute. Kalen Ryden with the lone goal in this one, coming off of a set piece. It was a design set piece, but albeit the delivery from Justin Portillo was on point, right at the back post, got Andre Rawls off of his line, and Ryden, all he had to do was just put it on frame, and it was bound for the back of the net. That goal coming in the 7th minute. Ryden's 5th of the year, Portillo's 7th assist. And since then, it's been the football that we've expected, Matt. Possession on both sides. Not a ton of chances. They're not flying up and down the pitch like a couple of the teams in the Western Conference, like maybe a Sacramento or Phoenix, where they're almost too exposed at times, but it's calculated possession from these two teams.
It's good possession as well going into their attacking halves. Not wasting padding the statistics in the defensive half. One thing I've noticed from Real Monarchs is that they're trying to find a way to stop Chaplow from getting on the ball. Hernandez is tracking Chaplow somewhat wherever he goes. In good defensive shape now from Real Monarchs. Not allowing any short passes, so the only choice is to go long. Try and find Andy Voldson if he gets in the way, which doesn't help matters. Essentially, Real Monarchs are going to set their stall out to win the second ball from those long clearances.
We do have a final in the Swope Park San Antonio game. Swope with a 2-0 win over San Antonio FC. Haji Berry extends his goals in consecutive games to 7 and sets a modern USL record. His goal coming in the 51st by way of Tyler Blackwood, and then Blackwood getting his own in the 75th. And as a result of that game completing, Orange County have officially clinched their spot in the 2018 postseason. We weren't allowed to say that they clinched the spot until that game was over, because the amount of points to certain teams around the Western Conference is now low enough to that Orange County can take a deep breath and say, okay, we've now clinched. But coming into this day, we knew that they were going to be in the postseason. And really this entire season, Braden Cloutier has just done a magnificent job. Bolstered the roster. The front office has been oh so kind to him, and he has just taken the players that he's been given and absolutely run with them.
Magnificent job. The team never quits on him either. We saw that against OKC. Even going to the Fresno game as well.
Here's Chandler Hoffman. Michael Chang. It's a poor clearance from Amico. Could be trouble. Henley couldn't quite corral it. And the foul behind on Henley. And a free kick coming out the other way, says Mark Gallatin.
Part of the reason why both teams move the ball so well is that players are able to receive the ball on the half turn. Very infrequently you're seeing players receive the ball facing their own goal. As I say, that Chaplow does just that, but particularly Real Monarchs finding ways to get the ball with their bodies turned on the angle so they could find the pass up the pitch aggressively.
Can you sing along with this one?
I missed my moment.
It'll come around again, don't worry.
I think moment's passed.
It's just one word.
Power to try and throw that ball forwards, playing into the hands of Real Monarchs, playing it backwards. Chaplow there trying to find a way to get on the ball. Something so close to his back line, they're not going to pass the ball to him, especially with Hernandez lurking in his shadow. So now the decision is, do I play it out wide to the outside backs, or do I just go long with it? Rolls is frustrated. And there's the decision. Got to go long. Orange County not winning the second ball. Real Monarchs start things going forwards.
Chaplow just very much a veteran leader on this team, and while Christian Duke is normally sporting the captain's armband, and Chaplow has dealt with some injuries throughout the course of this season, Brendan Cloutier made it very clear that Chaplow is probably the most vocal of the leaders on this team, and while Christian Duke is a bit more of a silent assassin and just goes about his work without saying much, but leads by example. Here is Duke, trying to get it out wide, but closed down quickly by Kalen Ryden, who is stepping forward from that center back position. It's been a defending by committee effort from the Monarchs after scoring the goal in the 7th minute as Quinn was trying to slide it through.
It's frustrating at the moment. Quinn missing a few passing opportunities. He had Yeoman on his left, tried to force it through the middle where all of the white shirts of the Real Monarchs were lurking. Yeoman was trying to get forwards on the left wing. He was in space. We talked about receiving the pass on the half turn. Quinn also kept his back to goal a couple of times. He'd been able to rotate his body a little bit. Might have been able to start the counter-attack for the home squad.
The Monarchs just completely pinning down Orange County in their own defensive third. And the foul's going to go against Orange County for a little bit of shirt grabbing. And a free kick coming up for the Monarchs. And there's a look at the man of not so many words, Christian Duke. And how good of a job has he done in just assimilating into a new system, new coach after coming over from Swope Park. And him and Aiden Quinn have developed quite the partnership in the middle of the field, and who a lot of people would call maybe the best central midfielding pairing in the USL. Early delivery, back post. Quinn unable to keep it in play, and a goal kick coming for Jake Leaker. Hey fans, be sure to stop by your favorite local supermarket and pick up some red shell miso dressing, sesame soy dressing, and teriyaki sauce today. It's great on salads, sandwiches, pastas, and your favorite meats, and as a dipping sauce. So give it a try. More salad, please.
Still need to try that miso dressing. Could have done with some of that teriyaki on your sandwich.
Oh, my sandwich was bone dry today. I didn't even want to eat the second half because I just felt like it was a waste and an insult to the sandwich itself.
Stop on the way home, get yourself some dressing, you'll be good.
Bierman somehow gets it over to Powder. Felt the pressure coming nicely and distributes to Alston. Well, the Monarchs will be in action this weekend after getting the weekend off in week number 27. They'll travel to Carson and take on Los Dos. Meanwhile, Orange County won't be in action again until a week from tonight against Las Vegas in Sin City, which is always an interesting task. And for those of you who did not hear the news, El Chelis has parted ways with Las Vegas Lights FC. However, his son Isidro still remains the manager. El Chelis was the technical director. Chaplow finding Ina Voltson, who's come extremely deep to receive the ball. We had an interesting conversation with Braden about his role game in and game out.
The key for any Voltson is staying high. When you're a talent like him, he's got the license to come deep. Also, it's deep with a purpose, not deep because of frustration. I think that might be a little bit of frustration. He's not getting the service that he needs to be successful.
Orange County able to win the ball back after it was given away cheaply by Hoyfeld along the back line, and That was almost the case, if not for a good step from Kevin Alston. Noah Powder making a darting run forward. It's an inch-perfect ball. Lost his footing a bit. Still continuing with the pressure, however.
Powder just hasn't had an impact on the game so far. A bit lackadaisical on defense for my taste. You see him get more involved. Probably a little frustrated, as Enig Olsen is, that he doesn't have any space to go forwards down the flanks.
Pleva moving things along. That was nifty over on the far side, wasn't it? Hernandez trying to bend it in. Won by Kernali and held on to by Aiden Quinn. Just 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Tyler Terrens along with Matt Stubbington. Glad to have you with us. First place is on the line. And as it stands, it'll be the Real Monarchs on top of the Western Conference. If the result holds, both teams will be on 57 points, but with advantage in the win column, the Real Monarchs would technically be in first as Noah Powder sent the other way. Flag will stay down. Powder slides it across. There it is for Orange County. The equalizer, Aiden Quinn, out of virtually nothing for OCSC. They level the score at one apiece. It's set up by Powder, finished off by one of their main men, Aiden Quinn. It's 1-1 here in Irvine.
Well, I wanted Powder to make an impact. Powder wanted space on the right side. Timed his run, and Olsen coming deep. Powder stayed on side, created the angle. Patience on the build-up, looks up, waits for Quinn, squares the ball. You see the little look to his right. Am I onside? Don't hear the whistle, I'll keep going. Quinn kept going, slides the ball and almost himself into the back of the net.
Well, after the persistent pressure from the Monarchs, all it was Thomasine Voltson traveling at least 25 or 30 yards deep from his normal position in that lone striker role. A simple touch picks out Noah Powder, and then Aiden Quinn making a run that a lot of central midfielders will not make because it is lengthy and you will be gassed by the end of it. But if it works out, you'll be rewarded, as Ina Voltson sent the other way, but too close to Jake Leaker. However, he gives it away. Powder going for the chip. He's done it! Noah Powder! Yes, ice in your veins, son! Orange County, after being down 1-0, with an emphatic response. And in one of the best matches of the season, Powder has saved his best. It's 2-1 to Orange County.
Wasn't involved in the game for the first 33 minutes, but boy, has he stepped up to the plate. That looks easy, but it isn't. You have to have the composure to put it over the goalkeeper. Leaker had to come. It was that, or face a 1v1 with one of the best strikers in the USL, with Enig Olsen. But the clearance was a poor one, and Powder made him pay.
It's amazing what 120 seconds will do. Well, a few minutes ago, we were talking about the Real Monarchs and sitting on top of the Western Conference. And as it stands, it's Orange County who will be there as Ina Voltson on offside. He's really upset and he's hot.
There's another close call. Official on this sideline. He's having a time of it right now.
And Matt, it seems like in a matter of minutes, Orange County have made some sort of adjustment, whether they know it or not, that it's just a quick ball through. It's no nonsense, and it's just a simple run being made either on the outside or down the middle of the field after relieving the initial pressure.
I think part of it is Enig Olsen is being more willing to check back to the ball. We saw that on the first goal. As he checked back to the ball, the back line came up with him. He was able to win the possession and play the ball out wide to Powder. And the space was there because the high line was created by Annie Voldson's movement. And I think that's also part and parcel, is that the defenders are more willing to just look forwards early, not allowing Real Monarchs to drop off and get behind the ball. Seen some hesitation in the past when
Powder, Alston across, Ida Voldson, saved by Leaker. Christian Duke on the follow-up, saved by Leaker again. Are you not entertained?
amazing that Eddie Volson didn't put this one in the back of the net. It was all about 1-2 from Duke. Lovely skill from Powder, springing Alston. Would have been odds on for Eddie Volson to put this in the back of the net. And then Duke measuring the pass into the corner, and that was well saved by Leaker.
Quinn on the corner, nodded away by Hoffman. And corner kicks brought to you by the big ones. Boy, this has really turned up about 7 notches in the past 5 to 10 minutes. Quinn again with his off right foot and almost had Joe Amico. And now, Matt, with Sebastian Velasquez finally available for selection, when do you bring on one of the most dynamic players in the Western Conference? Master Cashier. Kevin Alston helped out with some pressure from Noah Powder, who has equaled his goal total for the season in the past 2 games.
Depending on fitness, it might be tempting to bring him on after the halftime break.
Portillo. Great defending again from Joe Amico. The outside backs, or I guess you could call them the wing backs at this point, for Braden Cloutier and Powder. And Joe Amico have been really exceptional. Chaplow lays it off for Bierman. Hoyfeld stepping forward. Hoyfeld jousting with Chandler Hoffman, and he was going a little bit too quickly for the likes of Kevin Allerton. Hoyfeld, who just has a myriad of experience, has this delivery handled by Alston.
It's a wonderful defensive header from Alston.
Hoyfeld actually used to play for your club, Matt, Southampton, and helped him in promotion in 2011.
No wonder he's so good.
Well, over the weekend, my friend, you and I will not be friends as the Liverpudlians and Southamptons collide. Monarchs looking for an equalizer before the half. Skips towards the back post, Andrew Brody. Handled easily by Andre Rawls, and he promptly falls on top of it. And don't miss the regular season home finale on Saturday, October 6th, when Orange County Soccer Club hosts Seattle Sounders 2 at 7 p.m. Be a part of this historic season and catch the USL Western Conference leader in action before the USL Cup playoffs. Get your tickets online or call 949-647-GOAL, G-O-A-L. Credit to my producer, Roberto Fernandez, who had me wait to do that read, of course, until Orange County retook the lead. Not exactly sure if that was his plan, but...
He always has a plan.
Always.
Always.
Always. Our crew doing an incredible job, as always. Gage Tillotson, our director, And Jonathan Tellicher, our replay operator, as well as our stout camera crew. Takes a village to be able to bring you these broadcasts, and especially this game with so much surrounding it. Everybody on top of their game. We're hearing a tentative 2 minutes of stoppage time. Crenali looking for the big switch, which has been the friend of Orange County as of late. Amico.
Just playing those long balls quicker allows Chaplow to stay further up the pitch. Removes the pressure from the other midfielders, which means that Orange County are then in a better position to win the second ball from those long clearances. That has allowed them to keep the pressure on Real Monarchs in the latter part of this first half.
2 minutes to stop the time.
And that tentative 2 minutes has turned into a confirmed 2 minutes. And stoppage time presented by Synchronicity. Charlie Adams. The challenge from Aiden Quinn, never afraid to get involved in the defensive side of things. Brody. Jose Hernandez just trying to think it along for Master Cashier, but asking too much of the former Colorado Springs Switchbacks man, who obviously with this more than talented Monarchs lineup has not seen the sort of playing time and the sort of offensive production that he was used to with Colorado Springs, but part of a club that has a bigger goal and maybe, just maybe, will help them in some big moments down the line to be able to get past the first round of the Western Conference playoffs, which would of course mean that they would outdo themselves from 2017 after falling to the Sacramento Republic in penalties after running away with the Shield.
I think Powder wanted the ball on his side of the pitch. Mentioned Michael Chang at all in this first half, maybe once, as he tries to win the ball.
There's Justin Portillo, we have mentioned him. He has the assist on the Kalen Ryden goal. Hoyfeld clears it away, but only as far as Henley. Here is Chang, like Ina Volton, having to come extremely deep to receive the ball. Joe Amico. And that's going to do it for the first half. A game that has had all sorts of hype surrounding it has not lived down in the slightest. Noah Powder with one of the better goals of the season, chipping Jake Leaker just a few moments after Aiden Quinn scored the equalizer. Kalen Ryden got a start in the 7th minute, but Aiden Quinn, after the Noah Powder setup, would equalize, and then Powder taking advantage of a magnificent opportunity. Matt Stubbington, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes?
It was a wonderfully entertaining first 45 minutes. Well played by both teams. Some really good goals, some good action, and a well-contested match, particularly in the middle third. It's been a chess match, and so far it's Orange County that have found the right moves.
Well, now we'll wait for the moves from Jamison Alave. Will we finally see Sebastian Velasquez, one of the best players not only in the Western Conference but in the USL? His side is struggling right now on the road. Orange County with a magnificent response in a matter of seconds. We're heading to the halftime show. Orange County with a 2-1 lead over the Monarchs.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Halftime brought to you by Subaru Orange Coast, and what a first half it was. Goals, saves, trickery, and drama alike. Orange County SC with a 2-1 lead over the Monarchs, and currently will create some distance between themselves and the Monarchs and Phoenix Rising if the result holds. Kalen Ryden, well, his goal in the 7th minute, I think we always knew Matt wasn't going to stand alone. And we'll take a look at the Western Conference standings. These are updated with the Sacramento Republic result tonight, as well as they were able to down the Tulsa Roughnecks by a score of 4-1. And Orange County would put themselves in a really good spot if they are to get 3 points tonight. I know there are a lot of Phoenix fans holding their breath for a draw and hoping the Monarchs can mount a comeback in the second half. But Matt, I mean, a month and a half ago, if I were to tell you that Orange County on September 19th would be in first place, would you give me a second look?
It would have been surprising, especially the way Real Monarchs and Phoenix Rising were playing at the time. But certainly, if Orange County can make this result stick, it'll be 4 points ahead of Phoenix Rising, and basically it becomes a 2-score game at that point, and makes it very difficult for the Rising. And Orange County has got a pretty favorable schedule coming down the stretch, albeit away from home for 2 of those 3 games. But, it's going to be interesting to see whether they can weather the storm, find a way to gut it out, stay at the top.
Well, they're going to have 2 tough games in the Silver State against Vegas and Reno. And then for the Monarchs, and it should be mentioned Orange County only have 3 games remaining. Monarchs have 4. Phoenix Rising does have a game in hand as well. And Phoenix actually has the most amount of points remaining available. So if they are to win out, they would be in first place. For the Monarchs, as we mentioned before, they'll travel to Carson. They're home against Colorado Springs, and then home against OKC Energy FC, and then they'll be at Fresno. Fresno at this point, Matt, probably out of the mix. But as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that the teams that get eliminated end up playing their best football.
You got teams that the pressure is off, the players are playing more relaxed, but they're also playing for their future as well. So they're trying to put their best performance out and finding a way to get called back to play another season in the USL.
Well, the fans are enjoying halftime here at Championship Stadium in Irvine. As we're moving through the halftime brought to you by Subaru Orange Coast. Enjoy some highlights from week number 27 in the United Soccer League.
Theo takes a shot, and that one is good.
And so Francis tapped over the bar by Dan Lind.
Shank cutting it across, the shot is on and in. Hernandez.
Tipped over the bar by Perino. That's number 1 at his best.
Here's Saeed, goal! Oh my goodness!
Off to Adi, a save is made by Patterson Sewell.
To the right foot of Rio, Shekel.
David Olsen goes for goal, tipped up by Wazinski.
Tsubasa Endo with a great-looking strike. Endo with some room. Takes a strike. Endo hits it and has a hat trick. Forced lasso. Oh, look at Fernando Adi. Into the box. Fernando Adi, far post. Into the box. Corbin Bone. Corbin Bone has it in. With that goal, Manu Ledesma sets a new USL record for assists in a season.
Goal and a score! Incredible goal!
Tampa Bay. They'll try and send one in on the ground. Score! And his service in finds the back of the net.
Wow.
It's headed back across and down and in. And is buried into the back of the net.
This could be their moment. It's Baril. Yes!
Ball to Decker, and what a shot at the corner of the net.
Right-footed shot, and he has it. And St. Louis has stolen a goal. Now headed in for a goal.
Oh, and St. Louis has done it.
And there it is. He's just scored.
And then Chart turns the near post, is scored.
Bends it in. Brett is denied and stopped again.
Tambaki's got just enough of a look at it.
And he puts it in. Rips that shot. Followed up and in. And he puts his team ahead once again.
halftime show here in Irvine, California, as the youngsters are out on the pitch enjoying a little bit of time to play some footy of their own. Tyler Terrence along with Matt Stubbington. We saw some awesome highlights from week number 27 in the United Soccer League. Week 28 off to a terrific start, and it's almost like where do we go from here with this game in the middle of the week and at the beginning, but we'll try to figure it out. We'll take a look at some news and notes from around our magnificent league. Manu Ledesma, we mentioned him during the top of the broadcast. 15 assists on the season. He had a hat-trick of assists against TFC2. And how about Haji Berry? And I actually told our producer Roberto Fernandez, that he needs to update this because we had it at 6 at the beginning of the game and for the Louisville game, but now that he's scored, it's now 7 consecutive games with a goal. That is the most in the modern era in the USL. And of course, we mentioned El Chelis and Las Vegas Lights FC parting ways. Matt, what do we think about it all?
Well, Haji Berry is having a fantastic time of it. The manner in which he's scoring is just tremendous. Able to do it 7 games in a row. I mean, doing it when everybody knows that you're in good form is something special. And Ledesma, he's having a wonderful season. He's not only just getting assists, he's also scoring goals as well. He's been involved in so much of the offense for FC Cincinnati. He's a tremendous player, and it's great to see him get the assist record with 15.
Surefire MVP?
He's pretty close to it. I mean, Cameron Lancaster might have an argument or two, and of course Andy Voltson as well. But he's pretty much up at the top of the list.
Well, we'll take a look at the top of the list for week number 27. And here's a little peek at our player of the week. And oddly enough, it's Tsubasa Endo who ends up getting player of the week for his performance against FC Cincinnati. He scored, I mean, just all 3 goals in that game at Nipper were on a different level. And he actually did something similar to Louisville City FC a couple weeks ago as well when TFC2 went to Slugger a 1-4-1. So not really much of a surprise. I'm sure a lot of people in the USL might be a little bit shocked, but we've seen him in form before, and he is excellent. Paco Craig, who had 2 assists against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, he had a great performance. Maxime Crépeau, 13th clean sheet. He's been excellent. Daniel Rios making his case for the Golden Boot, as is Chris Cortez. Corbin Bone, excellent for FC Cincinnati as well with his goal in the first portion of the 2-legged saga with FC Cincinnati and Louisville City FC. Western Conference schedule, Matt. What do you got circled?
Well, there's Phoenix Rising whenever they're playing. I circle that game because I enjoy watching them play. There's going to be some interesting games coming up. St. Louis definitely, as they are right on the cusp of the playoff picture. It's going to be interesting whether they can continue their good form of late. And they play San Antonio on Saturday.
Well, that's about as close as you get to a relegation match between San Antonio and St. Louis. Fans, this 2018 season, Orange County Soccer Club has already achieved the most wins and points in franchise history. Currently, the club holds sole possession of first place in the USL Western Conference. Tonight, Orange County SC clinched a USL Cup playoff spot. Be a part of this special season. Look for playoff ticket information at orangecountysoccer.com. Into the box, it's a great run. Here we go from Southern California. Pat Pasimoto shooting, scoring! Oh, it's a world-class goal for Orange County. He'll strike towards goal, and it's gone in! And Orange County has struck again. Counter! He scores! And brings back Orange County. He's swinging edge of the 600, and the header comes in! He scores! Sedgwick's a chance to put Orange County in front, and he does!
What makes my famous brisket, chicken marinade, and punch so good? A lemon lime secret ingredient I'm never going to tell. 7-Up. Who's hungry? Do more with 7-Up.
Moments away from the second half here in Irvine, California. We'll take a look at how the first half went down. Matt Stubbington, 7th minute, little touch hit. Justin Portillo finding Kalen Reinen at the back post, 1-0.
That wasn't well defended leading up to the corner kick, and after the corner kick, it was even worse. Defended. Well worked off of the practice pitch by Real Monarchs. Where was the height? Where was the marking of Orange County? Goalkeeper was stranded. It was well put in to the back of the net by Kalen Reinen for his 5th goal of the season. Andy Voldson got a bit frustrated. He started coming back to the ball, pulled the back line further up the pitch with him. That allowed space for Powder. Powder looked up, measured the pass perfectly to us charging Aiden Quinn. That's a wonderful ball over the top by Andy Voldson, finding different ways to impact the game. And patience from Powder, looking up to see if Quinn was there, see if the support was coming. And the pass had to be quality. And then there was another mistake made. Leaker, the goalkeeper, had to come out, but that was a terrible clearance. And then Powder, he was very calm, very collected. That was not an easy opportunity for number 6. The goalkeeper will rue this clearance. Powder took a touch to control it, looked up, and then just passed it into the back of the net with the chip. You just see the frustration from the goalkeeper as he picks the ball up and tosses it back towards the center circle in frustration. And that is where we stand at halftime, the 2-1 lead to the home team. Powder was disinterested for about 33 minutes of the game and then really stepped it up and made a big impact.
Well, we're officially underway the second half here at Championship Stadium. Tyler Terrence along with Matt Stubbington. If the second 45 minutes resembles the first 45 in any way, shape, or form, you're not going to want to take your eyes away from the screen. Noah Powder, who went into the Fresno game on Sunday just with 1 goal on the season. Now halfway through a game on Wednesday, he's got 3. Throwing an assist as well. And well, I think you could basically shoe in Noah Powder for a Team of the Week honor at this point.
I was just thinking the same thing. Just filling the team around him.
I'll tell you what, that Aiden Quinn goal looked eerily similar to the goal that pulled him within 1 against T2 a number of weeks ago. It was an early day game. I believe it was on a Wednesday as well. And it was a ball that was pulled back in very similar fashion. Ina Voldson would end up getting the equalizer against T2, who scored 2 early goals in the first 15 minutes or so. But a midfielder who can score, Matt, and who is willing to not only be a box-to-box midfielder, but beyond that, is invaluable.
Look at Eddie Days at Manchester United, Paul Scholes. Nobody better going box-to-box, distributing the ball, scoring some spectacular goals.
Andre Rawls will come off of his line. Hoffman felt he was fouled, but will play on. Matt, if you're Braden Cloutier in the dressing room at halftime, obviously have to be thrilled with the response in the last 12 minutes or so, but the first half hour, as we talked about, I'm sure was a little bit frustrating for the first-year manager.
It had to be. The message at halftime had to be maintain the discipline to stay further up the pitch and get the ball played out more quickly from the back line, which is why there was some success for Orange County in that latter part of the first half. If you allow Real Monarchs just to set things up defensively, don't get far enough up to help win the second ball, it's going to be a long second 45 minutes.
Here's Christian Duke on the first-time delivery, and Ina Voldson turned his back to it. Bierman saved by Leaker. And the Monarchs can take a deep breath. That was bizarre from Ina Voldson, as he just straight up turned his back to the opportunity at hand. Bierman was denied by Leaker in the end. We'll get a look at it when we have a moment off a dead ball. But Orange County easily could be up 3-1. Here's Chaplow showing some great strength and fortitude. Hoyfeld. Challenge from Hoyfeld again. Actually ends up getting his own man in Christian Duke. That's why the whistle wasn't blown. Portillo finding his former Charleston Battery teammate and Michael Chang. Drives it over to the far side. Back for Michael Chang. Trying to settle it, but this has not been his night. That's going to run out of play.
Seems like Chang and Voltson are both a little bit off on their touch. This is a peculiar effort. Seemed to come from nothing. Searching ball out to Duke. Looked like Andy Voltson was unsighted on the ball as it came across. Ryden was right in front of number 7, and that's a good save. It's not spectacular. Leaker just getting out where he needed to be, sacrificing the body to block the effort.
Leaker really didn't know much about it. Ended up hitting his backside more than anything.
It's all about positioning.
Location, location, location. Here's Chang, closed down quickly by Bierman. Henley on the move. Trying to whip it into that corridor of uncertainty. But certain was Hoyfeld.
On and off the field from players' perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com.
Duke just nodding it along. Aiden Quinn. Christian Duke. Oh, it's a difficult ball to try to pick out Ida Voltson.
Trying to nod it back to a supporting midfielder that just wasn't there. It's been the difference for Orange County. As attacking players get further up the pitch, they can support any Voltson. The spacing has to be better from the back line.
Christian Duke. Chilomiko. It was well done. Bierman. He's fast. Well, not that fast to get there, though. Hoyfeld. Ida Voltson lays it off. And it's going to be offside. Thomas Ida Voltson again. I would not want to be one of the assistant referees here tonight.
Some fire from the eyes from Andy Voltson.
You and I have done a number of Louisville games together as well. And he may be watching right now, but Paolo Del Piccolo is never afraid to say something to the referee. For your money, who's more chatty with an official, Thomas Ida Voltson or Paolo Del Piccolo?
I think Del Piccolo might have the edge on that one.
Can we get Devin Kerr on that midseason award? Most likely to get a card for dissent.
Andy Voltson's got a pretty good stare, though. I think the USL should have some of those awards. Still trying to lobby for the best beard in goalkeeping award. The iciest stare to the official award would be a good one as well. I'm not one for the dissent. I think players just need to close their mouths and walk away. Get yourself into trouble talking yourself into the referee's notebook. Hernandez is a busy player. Talk about Aiden Quinn going box to box. I don't really see Hernandez going box to box, but he's certainly busy in the attacking half for the Real Monarchs.
Hoyfeld. Bierman. Ida Voltson making a darting run. It's a little bit behind him. And that's a frustrating move for Orange County, and you can see it in the face of Thomas Ida Voltson.
It was wasted by Bierman. It's fine that he didn't use the run of Andy Voltson, but Aiden Quinn was open on that far sideline and was not utilized either. Bierman just has to have better awareness of where he needs to play the ball. See the attention that Andy Voltson garners as he was coming across. Quinn was able to just fill in the space that was vacated. Bierman just didn't read either run correctly.
Chaplow. Hoyfeld again getting forward from the center back position. But that pass is cut out. Hernandez just pushing it out wide. Michael Chang. And we're just getting word that Lopez Espin is getting ready to come on. No Sebastian Velasquez sighting just yet, but again, fitness is something to keep in mind. As Michael Chang fouled by Joe Amico, much to the dismay of the Orange County bench and the fans here in Irvine.
I actually think this is the right call. There's the initial contact. Amico goes to the ground after the fact. He's neither here nor there.
Portillo. USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7, 366 days a year. Follow @USL on Twitter. No, Matt, it does not say 366 days a year on my read. As you peek over to look at that.
I knew it in the Olympics year. Messing with me. You're a mean young man.
Oh, that is my favorite moment of the season so far. That is unbelievable.
Glad I bring you some joy.
Monarchs calling for an offside. They're not going to get one. Ida Voltson finally cleared away by Kalen Ryden.
Ryden did really well with that. There was nothing easy about that. Under pressure from Annie Voltson. And then had to deal with that bouncing ball as well.
Henley bullied off the ball. Still waiting to see whether it's a foul or it's a throw-in. And it looks like it's going to be a throw-in night. I sort of have to agree with Adam Henley there. It looked like a foul. Yeah, we'll have our first substitution of the evening, and it's going to be Ricky Lopez Espin coming on and replacing Master Cashier. The substitution brought to you by Shire. Matt, thoughts on Cashier's 56 minutes or so?
I always measure how many times do we mention a player's name. We didn't talk about Cashier a whole lot in this match. And when you're playing as an attacking player, you want to be involved, and it's not the case for Mr. Cashier tonight. I'm disappointed.
Ricky Lopez Espin, a 22-year-old from Miami. It's in his rookie season. Attended Creighton University for all 4 years. Scored 30 goals as a Blue Jay and was the 33rd overall pick in the MLS Super Draft by Real Salt Lake. Has been a positive influence on this club since becoming a professional. Making his 7th appearance of the season, Lopez Espin. Now let me ask you this, Matt. Would you be surprised if you did not see Velasquez tonight?
Well, you have to assume that he is fit enough to play. He's on the bench. I would be very surprised if something happens with Real Monarchs that the coach decides that he doesn't fit within the tactical lineup. The question is, who do you take off to bring Velasquez on? Certainly Chang has not been much of an influence tonight. So an argument could be made that Chang should come off, Velasquez put on, but Chang is also the type of player that can have those moments of magic when he's been quiet of an evening. You throw the dice, pull a defender off. put an attacking player on.
Especially with the counter-attacking ability of Orange County that we've seen already. It's a bigger roll of the dice than most because you're going to leave yourself exposed at the back and then some. Henley finding Hernandez, bottled up by Bierman and Christian Duke. Zina Voltson was unable to get there. Crisper movement from the visitors. Adams fizzes it across. Lopez Espin gives it away, but working hard to win it back. Look at Noah Powder. He's been in ridiculous form.
When he's interested, there's nobody better. Sometimes he just doesn't look like he wants to be out on the pitch. Since he was involved in the first goal, though, he's been in resounding form, trying to get involved.
Bierman on the turn. Room to work with. Looking for Ina Voltson. That's really well read by Conrad Pleva, who instead of retreating decides to step into the passing lane. Former St. Louis FC man who came over and has bolstered his Real Monarchs back line. Added some height, added some technical ability. Chandler Hoffman, I guess you could call that a stern talking to.
Talking about players that have been quiet for Real Monarchs. Mention him at all.
That's nasty. Both Henley and Bierman go to ground, and it's Bierman who gets the brunt end of it and then some. Will play on for the moment. Powder denies another delivery, as Bierman appears to be all right, at least for the moment. Henley, knotted away by Chaplow, but right back to Henley. Chaplow closing it down. In for Chang. Good looking ball to the far side, might have too much on it. Ricky Lopez Espin running out of room and closed off by Kevin Alston. Hey fans, be sure to stop by your favorite local supermarket and pick up some red shell miso dressing, sesame soy dressing, and teriyaki sauce today. It's great on salads, sandwiches, pastas, your favorite meats, and as a dipping sauce. So give it a try. More salad, please. Which one did you say you were going for? The sesame.
I like the teriyaki.
The teriyaki.
I need to try the miso.
Miso? Mm-hmm. Miso.
Miso. Miso.
And that's the Portillo to the near side with Michael Chang. Bending it in, rolls off of his line, got a piece of it. And Chaplow clears it away before Lopez Espin can get there. Now Orange County can move on the counter. Aiden Quinn with some nice deception. Duke back for Quinn. Our producer Roberto Fernandez chiming in as well, convincing Matt Stubbington that it is miso and not miso. This isn't one of those tomato things. This is facts. Here's Portillo. His effort from distance is in. Justin Portillo with a little bit of sauce of his own. It's an equalizer that sneaks in off the near post, and we're all level at 2.
This feels like it came from nothing. It's Portillo with the assist on the first goal. Square ball, nobody closes him down. It was too lackadaisical on the defending from the home team. Wasn't the greatest of strikes, but it was accurate. Rawls saw it late, never got set. Didn't have a good power step on his dive. Excitement for the visitors.
It's just his second goal of the game, of the season, excuse me, Justin Portillo. And you could see his celebration. He was trying to do Noah Powder one better with that sort of ice in the veins motion. I'll tell you what, for a man who's only scored one goal prior to that, you know he's more than capable of striking a ball with great force and authority. For a man of not exactly tall and strong stature, but does a lot of different things for this Real Monarchs team that goes unnoticed, as we're getting word that James Moberg is getting set to come on, and he'll replace Henley.
Just a strange goal. It seemed like Orange County went to sleep. Wasn't the best strike in the world from Portillo, but it was accurate. Just snuck in that post.
And here is James Moberg coming on, the 23-year-old from Windsor, California. Actually fourth in minutes for the Monarchs in 2017. And the substitute brought to you by Shire. So a little bit more of an offensive substitution for Jamison Olave. As we're into the 66th minute, 4 goals split right down the middle. And in a match featuring two of the best technical sides in all United Soccer League, it is certainly not let down from a scoring standpoint. Here's Aiden Quinn, leaker off of his line. It's a low clearance again, and again he's rolling the dice with Noah Powder in the neighborhood.
Maybe some time needs to be spent with Mr. Leaker in practice this week on how to clear the ball out over the sideline.
I mean, I understand the possession mentality that the Monarchs have, but I'm sure Jamison Olave would not be upset if he were to just get rid of that.
Coach Olave would say, look, next time, can you put it in the car park?
Especially with Powder right there. I mean, he's gonna haunt Leaker's nightmares. Powder back in, Christian Duke challenging. Not really an aerial threat, Mr. Duke. Hoyfeld skips it along for Amico. Gonna combine for a 1-2. It's picked off by Chang. Looking to link up with Hoffman. Looks to try to find Jose Hernandez. It's a bit behind him. Now he collects. Jose Hernandez had the equalizer against St. Louis FC a week ago. Chang, couple of shimmies. Moberg knocks it across, and Hernandez knocks it over the crossbar. It was electric stuff from the Monarchs, but could not be finished off.
This is the Monarchs at their best. Fancy footwork. Good defending there by Emiko. Not falling for any of the fancy footwork. Moberg on the overlap. The ball's played where it needs to be played. Only that man there can answer the question, why is that not in the back of the net? At the very least, why is Rawls not being challenged?
Hernandez, only 22 years of age. Was born in Mexico City, ended up moving to Phoenix. Played 2 years at UCLA. 16 goals in his time as a Bruin. Here he is getting stuck in again.
Hoyfeld stepping further up the pitch, onside Chaplow. That's opening some space in the back line for Real Monarchs to exploit. They Maybe part of the reason why the visitors have been more successful of late.
Here's Hoyfeld again. Lopez Espin. Hernandez. Andrew Brody, cross takes a deflection, and stepping forward was Hoyfeld again. He's been integral, to say the least, for Orange County. And we're being told Koji Hashimoto is going to come on. Richard Chaplow will come off. Lopez Espin in the area, and a save from Rawls. A scuffed clearance. Kevin Alston able to find the feet of Noah Powder. And Orange County were one pass away from unlocking the Real Monarchs to be able to go on the counter. Moberg linking up with Chang. Moberg, way too much on it, but Hernandez will get there. Brings it down with a deft touch. Jose Hernandez, it takes another deflection and a corner kick coming up for the Monarchs.
That was a good save by Andre Rawls. Had to be down quickly. Now Monarchs, the wind is beneath their sails a little bit. Need some aggressive substitutions offensively. It's paying dividends at the moment.
Corners whipped in. It's Thomasina Voltson who's there for the defensive header. Justin Portillo. Brody back for Hernandez, becoming more and more involved as the 22-year-old. Positive first touch from Charlie Adams, and does just enough to win a corner. Into the final 20 minutes. Justin Portillo's goal, the latest in the scoring development.
Wonderful touch there from Adams, the outside of the left boot. Many examples of such nice play from both sets of players tonight.
It's lofted towards the back post. Brought down, Hernandez. Adams again, at the near post. It's loose in front, and Chang didn't know where it was. Andre Rawls thankful for that. And he's able to scoop it up in the end.
It was another clever corner kick. The ball was set back perfectly to Hernandez. Orange County did just enough defensively to stop Hernandez from having a shot on goal. And the return ball coming in the second phase, Chang just couldn't get a handle on it. Rawls very thankful to pick that ball up.
Chaplow and Adams collide for a crunching challenge. Powder. Too much in front for Thomasina Voltson. And now it's the Monarchs after the Justin Portillo equalizer, who look like they're going to go ahead and get the game winner. And that aforementioned substitution. Hashimoto coming on, and Richard Chaplow will dish off the captain's man to Christian Duke. And after a frustrating half hour or so, Chaplow settled in nicely, and while it wasn't a ton of touches on the ball, ended up making an impact in the substitution brought to you by Shire.
Good shift by Chaplow. He was at his best when he was up the pitch further away from the back line. A busy night being marked by Hernandez, particularly in the first half of the game. Interesting to see how Hashimoto fits in. Tends to drift as well.
Chang, cut up by Hoyfeld. Hoyfeld might have made a mistake, and Hoffman certainly made a mistake about the finish. Well, for a player that has so much experience at some of the highest levels in world football, Hoyfeld, lucky to get away with that one.
Well, Brendan Cloutier might be asking if the ambulance in the back of the picture has an AED. This was a terrible mistake. Andre Rawls very thankful that Hoffman wasn't able to finish that chance. He pounced quickly, wasn't able to turn it on frame.
Moberg slides it along, Chang. The step from Christian Duke. The challenge from Ryden. Joe Amico, a heavy first touch, but it ends up working out. Trying to thread a thick needle for Noah Powder, who appreciates the idea.
Orange County just need to pick their poison a little bit. They're trying to force the issue down the middle of the pitch when they don't need to. When you win the ball high up the field like that, there are players out wide that can be utilized. Powder, Amico. It's those early balls over the top that have been successful for Andy Voltson to run onto.
And the offside flag is going to go up. Aiden Quinn. Mats Bierman had it poked away by James Moberg. Jose Hernandez with some clever footwork and able to win a free kick. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Given away cheaply by the Monarchs from the restart. Hashimoto. 31-year-old has a number of appearances in the J1 League over in Japan. Has Noah Powder a late challenge on Jake Leaker as he already had possession. It was a bang-bang play. And tough for Powder to really time it and be sure that Leaker had it in his hands. And Powder by no means a malicious player, trying to make his case to the head referee. And it looks like it'll just be a talking to, nothing more.
Martin sending Powder back to his room. Nothing malicious in that. Powder was just trying to make a play on the ball, so he was being shielded.
Powder, 19 years of age, from Edison, New Jersey. He was with New York Red Bulls too in 2016 and 17. As part of that USL Cup championship side. Too close to Moberg. Bierman is going to challenge the substitute. Quinn finding Hashimoto. Eating Quinn on the Cruyff. Pernali, little sidestep. Now wide for Alston. Back for Hashimoto. Great build-up play from Orange County. Here's Christian Duke in the area. Team football, something that Orange County has always been a part of. It's a terrifically worked goal from the home side, and it might just be the game winner, and it's the skipper, Christian Duke, in the 78th minute, 3-2 to the home side.
When you wind it back far enough, this is a wonderful goal. Football at its best, one or two touch passing when it matters. A dribble from Hashimoto in the attacking third. Looks up, little move, pulls it back. And box to box, the midfielder strikes. It's not Quinn this time, it's Duke. But it's still in the back of the net. Orange County lead 3-2.
Darwin Jones and Ramos Godoy getting ready to come on for Braden Cloutier. Christian Duke with his first goal of the season. as it's given away by Leaker. Here's Hashimoto on the other end, taken down. Where was it? Right at the edge of the penalty area. It's going from bad to worse for the Monarchs.
Pointing to
and
the
now
spot.
He's pointing to the spot. Well, his initial motion was just in the direction of Orange County. It's a yellow card for Kalen Ryden.
Portillo is pleading the case that this is outside of the box. Either way, it's another poor clearance from the goalkeeper, Leaker, and this is outside of the box. Certainly Hashimoto lands in the box, but for my money, it is just outside. I have no influence on the referee, neither does Portillo or Ryden.
And Ryden's making the claim that there's some dirt that was brought up right at the edge of the penalty area, almost like a ball divot. Well, either way, Aiden Quinn stepping up to the penalty spot. Ina Volton trying to gain some position on Michael Chang and James Moberg, but Aiden Quinn making sure it's not going to come to that. Aiden Quinn to make it 2, and he just sneaks it by Leaker. It's a brace for Aiden Quinn. It's a 2-goal lead for Orange County. And they just very well may be 4 points clear of first place in the Western Conference in the next 10 minutes.
It was calmly done. Wasn't the most sweetly struck penalty, but it was accurate. I think Quinn was probably worried a little bit. The goalkeeper wasn't able to get a touch on the ball. Real Monarchs will feel hard done by that a penalty kick was awarded. Aiden Quinn, though, made them pay for the mistake from Leaker. The poor clearance, another one from the goalkeeper. Howder jogs off. Looks like Godoy's coming in his stead.
So it is going to be Ramos Godoy coming on here in the 81st minute. Noah Powder, who really stepped up after an uneventful 30 minutes from the teenager. And the substitute brought to you by Shire and Ramos Godoy, who has been a spark plug off of the bench for Braden Cloutier all season. And somebody Braden Cloutier thinks that could probably start on most teams in the Western Conference, but because of veterans like Michael Seaton, Thomas Ina Volton standing in his way, he's had to settle for a lesser role, but has embraced it as Darwin Jones taken down by Michael Chang, and all sorts of frustration coming to fruition from the visitors. Michael Chang shown a yellow card.
2 weeks ago against OKC, Darwin Jones, for me, was the player of the game for Orange County. Really got forwards, business-like play, just gets his head down and goes for the byline.
Darwin Jones did come in and replace Mats Bierman. And that substitute brought to you by Shire as well. Joe Amico called for the foul. We're going to have one final substitution from the Monarchs. And I just wonder what that substitution would have looked like had it been 2-2 or even 3-2. But it's going to be Jamal Charles coming on, and a substitute brought to you by Shire. So no Sebastian Velasquez sighting here in Southern California.
Gives him a little bit more time to recover.
Chang, first time delivery. And Matt, as you and I have seen over the past couple of weeks specifically, 2 goals in the last 10 minutes is by no means a safe lead as Leaker parries it away. Andrew Brody collects it, knocks it across, and the shot on the first time from Charles. Nowhere near the frame, but the Monarchs are threatening.
Tough on Charles, that was his first touch after coming in from the bench. That was better from Chang, getting deep into the attacking third. A good save from the goalkeeper, Rolls again. This game could have quite easily been 3-2 to the Real Monarchs. Hernandez put one over the crossbar from maybe 7 yards out.
Fans, don't miss the regular season home finale on Saturday, October 6th when Orange County Soccer Club hosts Seattle Sounders 2 at 7 p.m. Be a part of this historic season and catch the USL Western Conference leader in action before the USL Cup playoffs. Get your tickets online or call 949-647-GOAL-GOAL.
Think back to that Hernandez opportunity. Would have been a completely different game, perhaps. Missed chance.
Ryan has moved up into a much more offensive position. Jose Hernandez trying to atone for his sins of that missed opportunity that we've been talking about. And what's the call? To be a goal kick. And that is most certainly the right call, and you can see what it means to Kevin Alston. But for outside back, sometimes it's the little battles that are the most important.
Always was for me.
Well, after the Portillo equalizer, Matt, it did not seem like 4-2 was going to be the scoreline in the 85th minute in favor of Orange County. The Monarchs were pressing. They were creating good chances. They were playing crisp football. But it was one passage of clarity for Orange County that just completely opened up the Monarchs. And I think it caught them off guard. They didn't respect the idea that Orange County could come back with a counterpuncher, that a side could handle with them in terms of all that possession. As here's Michael Chang looking to put the moves on Joe Amico, and Amico, for the better part of this match, has just had him in his back pocket. Darwin Jones goes through Moberg, but Charlie Adams does well to win it back. And the foul from Jones.
That's a silly foul from Jones. Has to understand where he is on the pitch. And he's quick enough to get back goal side and help defensively. This gives Real Monarchs an opportunity from the set piece if they choose to serve one up into the box. You have to give credit to Coach Cloutier that he made the change, bringing Hashimoto on, taking Chaplow off. That injection of more energy in the midfield really has changed this game on its head.
Adams. Monarchs moving closer and closer to 5 matches without a win. Orange County, meanwhile, closer and closer to creating 4 points of separation. Here's Duke. Alston. Thomas Enevoldsen driving forward. He's looking for his. Enevoldsen! 5-2 to Orange County. It's been a long time coming in this one for Enevoldsen. Orange County have run away with it.
I was sat here thinking, as you were summarizing things, Orange County were able to do this tonight without Enevoldsen scoring. And then the big man steps up and buries it in the back of the net. He wants to stay in the Golden Boot race, just muscles his way through the back line. There's one thing on his mind. Calmly slots it away. That is a goal scorer's goal right there. Conrad
Pleva just melted away from Enevoldsen as he got into the area. Brady Cloutier is fired up. So is the Orange County Coalition. Smoke bombs are out. Darwin Jones coming over to cut it out. Moberg clears it away. Ina Voltson, his 17th on the season. Now he's tied for second with Rios in the Golden Boot race. Cameron Lancaster from Louisville still leads all talisman with 19.
If the butterflies have finally disappeared for Coach Cloutier. Excitement of a big game like this. His team has stepped up big when they needed to. Answered the call. Hashimoto slow to return to his feet.
Well, Matt, you had a 1-0 Orange County prediction. I had a 0-0 prediction. 5-2 is what we're staring down at right now.
Hashimoto was a little bit annoyed on that challenge. I'm surprised if he doesn't get the yellow. Indicating, look, I got an elbow in the mouth. That's why I just took him down.
And he's going to have to get some medical attention.
Yeah.
Or maybe a dentist appointment, whichever comes first.
This is just silly from Hashimoto. My money should be in the book. Nothing coming from Mr. Allerton. Certainly a 5-2 was not in the conversation from anybody around the booth. Sounds like somebody needs to have stoppage time explained to them.
I was just about to say.
Although I'm not against what the countdown was.
Lofted forward. And Rawls able to hang on to it. We'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time. And stoppage time presented by Synchronicity. Ina Voltson on a 5-goal match. It would be insane to think that the Danish Delight wasn't going to get one. Now all the pressure is on Phoenix Rising this weekend to try to keep up with Orange County. As we mentioned before, they have the highest amount of points available remaining. They can get on 71 if they win out in their remaining games. Orange County can only go as high as 69. Phoenix will be on the road at Colorado Springs Switchbacks, rounding up a 3-game road trip that started with a 3-2 loss against San Antonio. 1-0 win against Seattle Sounders 2. Chris Cortez with his 16th goal of the season. As Hashimoto continues to get into it with a number of Monarchs players.
It's a pretty favorable run in for Phoenix Rising.
All matches against St. Louis and Reno, on the road against Vegas, and then they'll finish off home against Portland Timbers 2. And one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind, including yourself, Matt Stubbington, is that they've been missing one man in particular for a long, long time, and he is on his way back.
Who's that?
He's won a Champions League. He's scored some goals in a World Cup. He's basically scored in every single final he's participated in. And his initials are DD. Any thoughts?
I know it's Didier Drogba, but I was trying to think of something witty to say. But when the king is involved, you just have to go with the fact that it's his swan song. It'd be great to see him back in action.
Well, I was trying to think of somebody in the USL whose initials are DD. And it very much is the final countdown for Orange County, or at least as far as these 90 minutes are concerned. The party won't start just yet, but they're making every case they possibly can to finish as #1 in the Western Conference when the playoffs roll around. It's been a more than convincing performance since the Justin Portillo goal. It looked bleak at the start. They gave up a 7th-minute goal to Kalen Ryden. They scored 2 goals in a matter of 60 seconds in response, about midway through the first half. Portillo equalized at around the hour mark. And Orange County picked the visitors apart for the 3rd goal. Got a little bit fortunate with the penalty call for the 4th. And then Thomasina Voltsen flexed his beautiful Danish muscles for the 5th. And that's gonna do it. Orange County, in one of the biggest matches in the season, run away with it. They put up 5 against the Monarchs. They create a decent amount of separation between themselves, Salt Lake City, and Phoenix, and are currently top dogs in the West. Aiden Quinn and company were magnificent. Matt Stubbington, your thoughts?
Well, when it mattered, they were magnificent. Powder that did a really good job in the first half, getting the first goal with the assist, the second goal with the calm finish. And when it mattered, Orange County stepped up as a team, did a really good job of finishing off when they needed to.
We'll be back in a few moments with post-game final score, OC 5, Real Monarchs 2.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Full time here in Irvine, California. And the party has begun. The regular season not just over yet, playoffs still right around the corner, but this felt like a big match heading into it, and it certainly did not let down. Orange County with a 5-2 win over the Monarchs. It's the first time since 2015 the Monarchs have given up 5 goals. It was a 5-1 loss at Tulsa. They've only given up 5 goals 3 times in franchise history. Now we'll take a look at tonight's post-match highlights, which are presented by Destination Irvine. We'll have goals, and more goals in this highlight package, probably about 7. This one comes in the 7th minute, and it's courtesy of Kalen Ryden.
That was a well-worked corner kick, right off the practice pitch. Portillo with the service. Defensively, Orange County just fell asleep. Rolls was stranded, and it was a question mark at that moment in time. Could Orange County respond? And And Eddie Volson said, yes, we can. Checking back to the ball, bringing the back line with him, open the space for Powder. Powder was calm, Powder was composed. Powder found Aiden Quinn running box to box in support. Collects the ball, looks up, serves it across. Quinn just slides it into the back of the net. Eddie Volson was involved again. He doesn't touch the ball on this one. He forces a mistake from the goalkeeper. Poor clearance. And Powder kept it dry. Put it into the back of the net. Ice cold veins for that young man. This was not an easy chance. He looks up, calmly chips Leaker. The goalkeeper was furious with himself for making the mistake on the clearance. That ball has to be up and out. Leaker knew it. Powder made him pay.
And we would head to the 63rd minute. At that point, we probably would have been satisfied with the goal scoring, but Justin Portillo had other thoughts. Just his second goal of the season, and does Noah Powder one better. Points to the veins again, says he's got ice in his veins, and we'd be level at 2. But then Orange County, after being on their heels for a little bit, with some magnificent team football, Christian Duke, his first goal of the season, makes it 3-2, and the floodgates would open.
That's a wonderful goal. Should be in top 5 for the week if it's played back far enough on the replay, because it was a brilliant team goal. This one, it was definitely a foul. But where was the foul? For me, it was outside of the box. But the referee, Mr. Allerton, points to the spot. Aiden Quinn doesn't care whether it should be outside the box or inside the box. He takes the opportunity given. He puts it into the back of the net. And Eddie Volson said, well, anything my team can do, I can do too. I want to get back in the Golden Boot race. I'm going to put this on my shoulders, put my head down, and do what I do best. Beat defenders off the dribble, shrug off the challenges, and bury the chances in the back of the net. But Cloutier, job well done.
Well, Orange County with a more than convincing performance. And we'll look at our big one's man of the match, and it is none other than the man who has ice in his veins, Noah Powder. Matt, you were a little disappointed with his first half hour of play, but once he got involved, he never looked back.
Exactly. When he got involved, he was fantastic. Made sure that he got involved with the game. Did a great job of getting forwards and then showing his composure when the chances were presented to him. He did a wonderful job and well deserving of the award of man of the match.
Well, Noah Powder put on an excellent performance in the first half. His teammates took care of the rest in the second, as we had 7 goals split in favor of Orange County, 5-2. It was a match that had an enormous amount of hype and anticipation around it, and to say it let down, well, that would just be a downright shame. The Monarchs suffer their 5th straight game without a win. Orange County, 1 loss in their last 13, and take full control of first place. Our crew was unbelievable tonight from start to finish. For Matt Stubbington and our entire crew, I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. Final score, OC 5, Real Monarchs 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of